is up, everybody? This is Steve Breach coming to you here today. I'm driving home from work. Today is Valentine's Day. We're all dressed up. We're all festive. It makes the day go by a little bit more fun. Some people laugh. They do a little bit more work. It's all good in the long run. Last night, Monday Night Raw, we had WWE. Honestly, really showing that I think some things are changing there. Kind of going against the obvious. Last night they had a promo between Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. We already had Cody Rhodes, when he won the Royal Rumble, say that he was going after Roman Reigns and the World Heavyweight Championship. It's something that we've been looking at in WWE for a while because of the gap between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. They do their special pay-per-view in the middle. It used to be that they had to make some money on pay-per-views to bring revenue in to be able to support the company. Now that with Peacock, they did it in December. They did no pay-per-view then. I honestly think that there is a little bit of time between the Rumble and WrestleMania, but it would make a lot more sense if the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE Championship. If you want to do a pay-per-view, that's fine. But I don't think you need to have that on the line because I think it draws too much of a conclusion that the foreseeable future is already upon us. And it kind of makes that match non-existent. Right now, Sami Zayn has the world in the palm of his hands. And he kind of seems like, what Daniel Bryan was back in 2014. He seems like he's the hottest guy in the world. But I don't think there's a way in the world that they're going to let Sami Zayn beat Roman Reigns. The storyline's right there in front of you. I mean, it is the bloodline. I don't know how much longer the bloodline's going to go. But there's no way in the world that they're going to have the Usos pick Sami Zayn over Roman Reigns. That's just not what the story's supposed to be. Let's say Sami does win it and Sami gets the Usos. What are the Usos going to do at WrestleMania as babyfaces? What's Roman Reigns going to do with no championship and no way to get to Sami Zayn to get his belt back? It just doesn't make sense. But WWE normally doesn't do anything like this. Normally right now they've got the Elimination Chamber, but they have Austin Theory defending the United States Championship. I know in the past, but that one wasn't in between WrestleMania. That was when the network first came out, and they were just trying to find ways to make it exciting, and they just turned that house show into the Elimination Chamber. That's when they had the tag titles involved in one. That was when they I think the Intercontinental Championship was also up for grabs on that same exact show. But, I remember back when Batista won, his little gap between, so he had a match, was Batista versus Alberto Del Rio. Oh, but he wasn't the champion at the time. He was on the hunt. But, sometimes they make these shows a little bit too more predictable. Right now, I think people really think that Sami has a shot. I don't think he does. But Cody to be able to show Sami respect and say that he's going to be there. But I don't think there's a cold shot in hell. That's the match that we're going to see. I think that we're going to see the Usos turn on Sami. I think that we're, going to see some sort of union between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You already see it in his shirt with him putting the duct tape, a lot like how Kevin Owens' shirt is made over Usos and making it say Zayn on there. This is a fun story, and Sami being this well pushed is pretty fucking cool. I don't want to relate Sami Zayn to the Big Show, but I do remember one of the last times that I really cared about the Big Show in his career was when Triple H and the Authority, I don't really know what sparked it, but they just were really running down the Big Show. I think one time, even on Monday Night Raw, Triple H made Big Show cry. I think at one point, they owned the deed to his house, and I was like, even if it's going to be like a match for the deed to his house, they got to do Triple H versus Big Show. I thought that match was going to happen at Survivor Series. One reason or another, they didn't actually do it, and I don't even know how they finished the angle out. But I really wanted to see Big Show punch, Triple H's lights out. I thought that, honestly, that was a match that I cared to see. And when it comes to Big Show, those are few and far between. Yeah, I sort of have him as a guy like Randy Orton. I really respect him, but he's just not a guy that I really get into watching his matches. It's just, that's why there's different kinds of wrestlers, there's different kinds of wrestling, and WWE's a pretty good mix of everything all into one. To send everybody home happy. But Sami versus Cody, I don't think that match is happening. Definitely not at WrestleMania. If it is, once Cody beats him. I think one of the reasons why it doesn't really make sense is the fact that we don't really know, like, when Sami fights Roman at the Elimination Chamber, is that for both championships or just one of the belts? So is he going after, since he's a SmackDown guy, I think that's the Universal belt that's blue. And then Cody Rhodes, maybe because he's a Raw guy, maybe he's going after the WWE belt because that's the one that Dusty never won in his time in WWE, and he wants to fulfill his family's destiny. I mean, maybe Roman can lose both if that's the way they're saying they're going to do it. But as a fan, I can't really tell which belt we're going after. And I just don't think that... Roman's not going to be in the picture come WrestleMania. I guess, yeah, because if he just loses once at Chamber, he could have the other belt, and then Cody can go after it. But they were really pushing the fact that Cody could be fighting Sami, come WrestleMania. So that makes me think that they're just keeping the belts together. Maybe they're waiting for somebody to finally beat them, and then they'll kind of do what they did for Jericho. No, actually, they didn't do it for Jericho. They did it for Triple H. After Triple H beat Jericho, then they just unified the titles. Maybe they did that the night after WrestleMania 18. I don't really remember. I know that when they fought at the next pay-per-view, they had the new championship because that's the one that Hogan beat Triple H for. And I wanted to throw my computer out the window. I love Hulk Hogan, but that title reign made no sense at all. How he became the #1 contender after losing to The Rock at WrestleMania. I get it that people wanted to cheer, hoot, and holler for him, but he didn't need to have the belt. That made no sense to me.